All right, it is a Wednesday morning and 20 minutes after 8. Right now, let's go to our WHBC Newsline and bring in Jon Decker, our senior White House correspondent for Gray Television. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning to you, Pam. Hope you're doing well today.
Doing well. So fill us in. What's going on in Washington?
Well, what's going on in Washington has a lot to do with what's going on in Los Angeles with that unrest that we've seen playing out on the streets of Los Angeles. The president, as you know, has activated the National Guard. He's essentially federalized the National Guard. A significant number of guardsmen and women are now on the streets of Los Angeles. But I can tell you, Los Angeles is a very large city, but where these protests, where this unrest is taking place, it's a very small pocket of Los Angeles that we're talking about. Over the course of the past 24 hours, the mayor of Los Angeles has instituted a curfew impacting the entire city. Anybody that violates that curfew will be detained, arrested, and put in jail. So that's an added wrinkle to what's happening out on the West Coast.
And as we see that happening, then we heard the president mentioning about the possibility of protesters on Saturday when the military parade takes
so there's
place.
A big parade happening in the nation's capital on Saturday that's celebrating the 250th anniversary, the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army, and we are expecting a big crowd here in Washington, D.C. There's the possibility of protests happening in Washington, D.C., protesting President Donald Trump, and I think that's what the president is referring to. Now, in our country, you can lawfully protest. That's the First Amendment that allows you to do that, but you can only do that peacefully. And, if those individuals exhibit the same type of behavior that we saw out in California, I think you can see the same kind of response that we've seen in California here in Washington, D.C.
So besides all of this, they're still obviously making the big plans and executing the plans for the parade, which is just a few days away now.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to cost a lot of money, over $40 million to stage this parade. There are some Republicans that say, there's a better use of money to be spent than this type of parade. But as far as the parade itself, hundreds of tanks will be on the streets of Washington, D.C. Because of that, as you know, the streets of pretty much any community in America are not built for handling tanks. And as a result, about $15 million is earmarked for repairing the streets of Washington, D.C. after this parade takes place, because of the fact that there will be some damage caused by all of these tanks just rolling down Constitution Avenue for this parade.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, I know that that's what's being concentrated on now. And any other business being handled in Washington?
Well, there is a big run-up to this. And in addition to that, there's already preparations, security preparations as it relates to the parade. There's increased security around the White House complex, around the Capitol complex. So I've seen that since the very beginning of the week, and it's likely only going to increase leading up to Saturday. And in addition to that, I may have mentioned this the other day, if you're planning on flying into or out of Reagan National Airport late in the afternoon, there will be closures that will happen that will impact those flights. And I think that many airlines are suggesting to passengers to make alternatives in terms of their flight plans late in the afternoon on Saturday. Why is that? It's because there's going to be an aerial show from about 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., and for that reason, the airspace really needs to be closed down to carry out that air show over the streets of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and this is not just like a couple of this is an all-day event, right?
It's an all-day event. I mean, when I say all day, it's not starting at 8, but, it's a significant amount of time in which this parade will take place, and it culminates with this air show in the very late afternoon, early evening.
All right. Very good, John. Well, we will be back in touch on Friday, and you have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks so much, Pam. Bye-bye.